Go At It from their album Spirit of Place, 7 at Mix. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna be a
stop
macho.
flexing, Greg. It doesn't work for you, honestly.
Doesn't work when Matt Cowling's in the studio from Evolve.
Morning. How
It
are
does
you
work,
today?
Greg. Ignore it.
So you've been well, had a good week?
Really good. Really
Excellent.
well. Really good. What's
All
not to
right.
be well about? We're living in Darwin.
Oh, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Now, this morning, look, we're going to focus on MSG.
Yeah, so MSG is monosodium glutamate, or MSG, okay? So what is MSG?
Well, you say sodium, so there's a salt content to this.
okay.
Yeah, a lot
yeah,
of people,
yeah.
I think of certain types of foods, like Chinese food, with MSG.
Yeah, so people know that the letter MSG, and they know pretty well. When I say it, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it enhances the flavour of the food.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
But in my experience, I feel very dry the next
Yeah,
day.
you're very thirsty after eating it.
So MSG, it was found when a Japanese guy was actually studying how to enhance the flavour of food. You're absolutely spot on. And he found it when he was researching into seaweed. But long story short, MSG is in pretty much good foods, a lot of good foods. Well, the glutamate is anyway. So it's actually abundant in things like meat and vegetables, and it's very small amounts. What it is, it's part of the neurotransmitters. It actually is part of the reward part of your brain that tells you to eat that again. So it excites your brain and goes, right, okay, that was really good for it, really nutrient dense, eat that again. So it's actually really good in the natural world. The problem is when you can take it out of that and condense it right down in huge amounts in food that have no nutritional content whatsoever.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you're talking about seaweed. He was developing it to make seaweed taste good. Well, you can totally understand
Well,
that.
that's how he discovered it. Actually, researching how seaweed makes Japanese food taste better, you know. But like if you take Chicken McNugget or a Big Mac, take away the emotional attachment that you got to it if you've eaten it, and look at a McNugget and think, what does that actually taste like? It's quite dry looking, and it's just battered on the outside, and it's horrible, really. But it's so packed full of MSG that your brain, the reward sensors go crazy, and you almost get an emotional feedback to that Chicken McNugget when you see it, like, oh yes, you don't know why you want it.
Yeah, true.
But you do.
Yeah.
You can taste it before even eating it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really enhanced the flavour, or what little MSG can make dirt taste good, you know. So it just make this thing taste good. But more than that, the reward senses go nuts and go, "That's really nice." And next time you go past McDonald's, you're going to think of that and really be drawn towards it.
So how do you avoid it then?
It's in a lot of things. It
Yeah.
is. The funny thing is, it's actually I've got some things written down here of what it's hidden as.
Okay.
So it's actually hidden as glutamatic acid. It's monopotassium glutamate E622. Anything hydrolyzed, soy protein. A lot of things that people wouldn't necessarily. I mean, the list goes on. That's just a few. Do you know that they actually inject mice with MSG to make them obese?
Really? Why would
That's-
they do that?
Well, they
Poor
inject it
little
or they
mice.
feed it to them because
Yeah.
it makes them overeat as well. Because you've got to think, something tastes really good and your reward sensors go nuts. You crave that. You eat a lot more. This is what a lot of people are experiencing. They eat a hell of a lot more. But the food that they're eating is malnutrition. Even though they're putting on a lot of weight, they're undernutrition by a long shot. But because of all the bad toxins in it as well, it build up in the body, which can go towards diabetes, cancer, and the build up body fat, and it's ridiculous. So MSG is actually a big contributor towards the obesity
Sounds
crisis.
a bit overwhelming,
And
doesn't
you were
it?
saying vegetables? I mean,
Yeah.
MSG and vegetables?
Oh, well, in the
What do you mean?
natural form,
In the-
glutamate's in vegetables, so that when you eat them, you go, oh, that's good. In a very small amount, it will give you a reward. So if we weren't so far taken from nature, we would want to eat them. But now, because MSG is huge in, say, cereal, and now you give a kid cereal, then you give them vegetables, they don't want that because their brain isn't going off half as much as a cereal. You know, so I mean, like my son, he's 2 years old. He's never eaten chocolate, never eaten a lot of this other stuff that's given to people. He loves vegetables. You give it to him, he'll wolf it down. Yeah, he loves blueberries. You give him frozen blueberries, gone.
That's what he's used to.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what he's
right.
used to,
Yeah,
and his
so
reward
if you
sensor
don't
goes, that's
expose
nutritious.
people to that, then they're
Exactly.
not going to obviously, have that response to food.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
interesting.
It is
MSG.
interesting, but how can you avoid it though? That's the question I asked
So
before.
what I would do is I'd look on the internet and see some of the names it's hidden by. It's near impossible
Yeah.
but keep away from frozen foods. Frozen foods are huge for it. Do you know that?
Really?
Even frozen vegetables and
Because
fruits
it's part
and
of your
things?
mind as well. It can cause depression. It's linked to causing Alzheimer's. There's all sorts of terrible things. Even eyesight. You know, like
And asthmatics suffer too.
yeah, it's just not good stuff. So keep away from takeaway food, frozen food. Once again, what I always say, go back to nature. You know, what would a caveman eat? Keep as organic and as natural as you possibly can. You're not going organic because it's a fad. You're going organic because you don't want any of this stuff in it.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Greg?
Just eat colourful food.
Yes,
like a
natural
rainbow a
colourful
day.
food.
Like
Yeah,
a
rainbow.
Beautiful stuff. All right.
Yeah, Jackie would love that I said that. There's an amazing nutritionist in Darwin that always says, eat a rainbow a day. There you go,
Stuff.
Jackie.
All right, Matt Cowling from Evolve, thank you for popping in once again.
Thanks,
guys.
Don't worry, I'm going to play your theme music.
There you go. What you mean. There you go. He's pumping the air as he leaves the studio.
Woo!
It's Mix 104.9 and The Secret Sound coming up next. All right, mate. That's good.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's interesting.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I think it's
It reinforces the message, and that's what I like
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's one of those things I hate how like people just don't have the information, you know? Because it's not that everyone's lazy or they just feel they're fat. It's not the case.
No.
They wouldn't choose to be like that. They just fall in victim to themselves and their mindset, but also to the stuff that's additives that's put into stuff that all escalates. It's all a marketing scheme. They're that way for a reason.
in so many foods. I think that's the
Oh,
surprising.
it's huge.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
See you later, buddy. See you
Matty,
next
I'll
week.
catch you later, mate.
You have a great week, buddy.
Thank you very much, and you too.